Let's be real, some women just don't flirt the way you'd expect. No giggles, no obvious signals. No chasing after you at the bar. They sit back, keep it cool, and barely give you a read. But if you think that means they're not interested, you're missing the real game. Underneath that poker face, she's quietly engaged, sometimes more than the boldest flirt in the room. Here's your field manual for spotting 11 subtle signs. She's drawn to you, even if she acts like she couldn't care less. Number 1, delayed eye contact, then a sudden look away. You've probably noticed this one, but brushed it off. A woman avoids direct eye contact while you talk. She seems to look everywhere but at you. But when she finally does look, her gaze holds for a split second. Longer than what's polite. Then she quickly looks away. That linger than retreat isn't accidental. There's real science behind it. Eye contact releases dopamine and activates areas in the brain linked to social bonding and even arousal in studies. Women who are attracted to someone will often try to hide it, but their eyes give them away. If she's holding your gaze just long enough to register, but looks away as soon as you notice, it's her emotional guard at war with her curiosity. She's interested but also protecting herself. A bottom line, lingering glances are the tell. But the quick look away is her way of not getting caught. 2, her face is still, but her hands are active. Picture this, you're talking. She's stone-faced, looks almost bored, right? But under the table or at her side, her hands are restless, tapping, fidgeting, twisting jewelry, smoothing her clothes. This isn't random. There's a reason the FBI and behavioral psychologists watch people's hands more than their faces. In interviews, the face is easy to control, hands not so much, according to nonverbal communication research. Fidgeting is a stress response. The leak when someone's nervous system is on edge. If a woman likes you but wants to play it cool, her hands will often betray the act. So while her poker face might say not interested, her hands are running interference. That's the body's honest signal, and it's harder for her to fake. 3, she replies casually, but recalls specifics. You know those times she acts disinterested. Her replies are flat, short, or even sarcastic. And then out of nowhere she brings up something weirdly specific. You said days or weeks ago. This is a form of selective attention, and it's a well-studied cognitive bias. When someone is secretly invested, their brain tags certain details as important, even if they're pretending not to care. So if she's referencing that random story about your dog, or mentions the exact drink you ordered 2 Fridays ago, it's not because she's bored. It's because you're on her mind. The recall is her breadcrumb of real attention, even if her tone is anything but warm. 4, she downplays compliments but doesn't walk away. Give her a compliment and she might scoff, roll her eyes, or say something dismissive. Oh, please. Everyone says that she doesn't leave. In fact, she sticks around and might even nudge the conversation into new territory. This is what psychologists call a push-pull tactic. It's a little social test. Can you handle a brush-off without getting defensive or needy? For a lot of women, especially those who've been burned before, acting unimpressed is a way to see if you're steady or easily rattled. If she wasn't interested, she'd just excuse herself. So she's dismissing compliments. But still, right there, that's interest just behind a protective shell. 5, she gives you neutral texts, but rapid responses. Ever get a string of LOL, maybe? Or just a bland emoji? But notice that she always replies within minutes. The content is dry by design. It's emotional camouflage, keeping things neutral so she doesn't feel exposed. But here's what matters: response time. Fast replies mean you're on her mind. Studies on texting behavior show the biggest clue of interest isn't what someone says, but how quickly they respond. Especially when they're busy, she wants the connection, but doesn't want to risk too much by sounding eager. When it comes to texting, timing matters more than tone. 6, she asks about your life indirectly. She may never straight up ask, "How are you?" instead. It's more like, "Did you end up at that concert?" Or, "Is your friend still visiting?" This is indirect connection, a favorite move for women who want to keep their feelings out of the spotlight. In psychology, it's monitoring proximity. She's collecting updates, but at a safe distance. She wants to know what's up with you, but needs that extra layer of subtlety to protect her pride. If she's referencing your life and plans, she's keeping tabs for a reason. You matter more than she lets on. Quick heads up, by the way. If you want the full list of the most forbidden signals women use to show they're secretly into you, I've put together a detailed no-fluff field guide for the channel. It's not free, but if you're serious about really understanding female behavior and want all 25 hidden signs decoded with real psychology, you can check it out in the link below. Now let's get back to the next sign. 7, she's generous with time. Guarded with praise. Here's a clue that most men overlook: consistency. She shows up for calls, doesn't flake on plans, and actually pays attention when you talk. But when it comes to giving you direct praise or validation, she keeps it locked down. This isn't stinginess, it's careful investment. A lot of women know the power of their approval. They'll give you their presence, but hold back on the compliments until they're sure it's safe. Psychologists call this investment without exposure. She's giving you her time because you matter, but she's rationing out the verbal rewards to maintain leverage and protect her feelings. It's a balancing act if she's present but not gassing you up. That's a green light, not a red flag. 8, she challenges your opinions, not your character. If you ever notice her playfully debating your favorite band, or poking holes in your hot takes about movies or politics, don't take it as confrontation. She's not attacking your character or putting you down. She's sparring according to relationship psychology. Challenging someone's opinions is the sign of intellectual engagement. It's a safe way to get closer, to see if you can hold your own without anyone feeling threatened. Women who aren't interested don't bother. They nod, agree, and move on. But the ones who challenge you want to see if there's a real connection. If you're someone who can keep up, so if she debates you, take it as her way of saying you're worth the energy. 9, she compliments others in front of you, then watches. This is a classic move that flies right under most guys' radar. She drops a casual compliment about another man, maybe a celebrity, a co-worker, or even a random guy in a story. Then she watches you. This is what psychologists call a jealousy probe. It's not about the other guy. It's about your reaction. Research shows that small doses of jealousy can increase attraction and attention in a romantic context. If you stay relaxed and don't act threatened, it signals confidence, something most women find attractive, especially if they're used to men getting rattled. So if she suddenly starts talking about how funny some actor is, pay more attention to her eyes than her words. 10, she asks hypotheticals that involve you. If she ever starts tossing out questions like, would you date someone who doesn't like to travel? Or if you hit the lottery, would you move to another country? Don't write these off as random conversation. She's actually gathering data quietly, trying to figure out where she might fit into your world. Social science calls this relational mapping, framing questions in the hypothetical so she can get honest answers without putting herself on the line. If her hypotheticals always seem to circle back to things you value or what you'd want in a partner, She's checking her odds with you without tipping her hand. 11, she touches you briefly, then acts like it didn't happen. You know those small moments. She brushes your shoulder, hands you something, and her fingers linger a second. Or she leans in just a little closer than necessary. Then she acts like nothing happened. These aren't accidents. Behavioral scientists call them micro-initiatives. Quick, subtle touches to test the waters of intimacy. Even the briefest touch can release oxytocin, a hormone that helps build trust and a feeling of connection. If she pulls away or changes the subject fast, she's not backtracking, she's watching how you handle the shift. For her, these are safe ways to feel out chemistry without putting herself out there in a big way. All right, you made it through the cold case manual. Now, you're basically an undercover agent in the world of female signals. If you want to keep your field guide sharp, make sure you're here for the next video. I'll see you in the next one.